Sean Manaea has been getting better and better.
Big left-hander has been pitching his best baseball.
Got 3 of the last 4. 7 Ks for Manaea. Another successful outing for Sean Manaea. Struck him out. 10 strikeouts for Sean Manaea.
This is like a walk in the park. 1, 2, 3, go sit down.
7 strong innings for Manaea. 11 strikeouts. That's a season high for a Mets pitcher.
Man, he was great against the Pirates. Same thing today. Do you want to see the fastball and the sweeper really taking hold for him?
Yeah, I just want to see him attack the strike zone, and however he mixes his pitches, he's going to mix his pitches, but yeah, attack with the fastball.
All right, so Todd and I are going to be back here, Mercedes-Benz, post-game live when it's over out in Queens. Mets looking to make it 8 wins. In their last 11 games, Gary, Keith, and Steve, they've got all the action. Enjoy it right here on SNY.
Citi Field in New York. The New York Mets play the Washington Nationals. Today's game is presented by Resorts World New York City. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places. By Spectrum, it's internet, mobile, and streaming TV all from one place. By Geico, coverage that fits like a glove. And by the New York Lottery, you could win a grand prize of $40,000 with the Swing for the Fences promotion. Enter with the New York Lottery app today. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez with you today as the Mets play the middle game of their series against the Nationals. When the season began, there was no expectation that 31-year-old journeyman Jared Young would become the Mets' primary first baseman for large chunks of the season. And the more Young plays, the more he solidifies his hold on that position.
Well, he hit his 8th home run last night, and I remember in spring training watching him take BP, and in some games in spring training, I liked his swing. He's an aggressive hitter. He's getting a chance to play. And, you know, in the last 30 games now, he's been out there playing against left-handers. He's hitting .319 with an OPS over 800. So he's really taken the bull by the horns and has made taken advantage of this opportunity.
So Young gets the start again today at first base. Sean Manaea will be on the mound coming off his most dominant performance of the year against the Pirates his last time out.
Well, he started out in the bullpen, remember. He's gotten in the rotation mid-June, and he's gotten better and better. His last 4 starts, he's pitching to a 2.16 earned run average. His walks are down, and he's keeping the ball in the ballpark. There you go, strikeouts.
A lot of fastballs from Manaea, back to where he was in the second half of the 2024 season. The Washington rotation's in a bit of flux, so Brad Lord, who started games for the Nats last year, is being worked back into their rotation.
Yes, he's been a reliever. It's his 2nd season with the Nationals and in the major leagues. He's had 2 starts. This is his 3rd. Fastball sweeper to right-handers, throws the slider to left-handers.
It's a beautiful day in New York. Mets have won 7 of their last 10. They try to keep the good times rolling at Citi Field. Mets and Nats coming up on SNY.
We do.
New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Resorts World New York City, a world like no other. Resorts World, NYC's only casino with thousands of slots and 24/7 live dealer table games. By your local Honda dealers, contact your local Honda dealer today. And by Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber Internet. Visit Optimum.com for details. Mets fans, vote for the Adams Classic Burger. Fill in your ballpark bites bracket for a chance to win tickets to try this bite at the stadium. Vote at MLB.com/bracket. Here's your Papa John's key ingredients. Since the start of August, Carson Bench is right up among the leaders in batting average. Hot on his trail is Joshua Baez, who today for the Cardinals has hit home runs in his first 3 major league at-bats.
That's probably never been done.
Nobody's ever done that before. At the first pitch he saw in the big leagues, 449 feet into the bleachers in center field. You never know what you're going to see when you come to the ballpark. 81 degrees, perfect day at Citi Field. Sean Manaea getting ready for his first pitch. It's coming right up. Ninth meeting of the year between the Mets and the Nats. They're 4-4 so far. Sean Manaea gets the ball on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Only time Manaea faced the Nats earlier this year was in relief, and he got hammered, but he's been so good lately. Hyundai starting line for the Nats. They get their right-handed platoon in there. That means Cruz and Chaparro and Pinckney, Ford, all in there against the lefty today.
And there's Sean's numbers, his Toyota numbers, but the last 4 starts, he has gotten better and better, as I mentioned in the open. His last start with the 11 strikeouts, pitching to a 2.16 earned run average his last 4 starts, a 2-game winning streak, and now segue right to the Genesis Metropolitan defense behind him. Beatty out in left field, his 3rd start in left. Ewing shifts back over to center field, and Alvarez behind the dish.
Manaea's first fastball in for a strike to Dylan Cruz, and we're underway. Cruz came off the bench yesterday, struck out in his only at bat. It's been a rough year for the second-year player out of LSU. Spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. This is now his 65th start for the Nats.
They had high hopes for him. They thought he was going to be something special, but he's yet to turn it on.
Hitting .217 overall, but he's been good against lefties, hitting .292. Manaea goes up and away with the fastball, and that's been the story for Sean. His velocity has been up. In his last start, he averaged just under 93 miles an hour on his 4-seam fastball. That's his highest average velocity in any game this year. 1-2 coming to Cruz, and he got him with a fastball away. Manaea starts his day with a strikeout, picking up where he left off in Pittsburgh.
Well, you can just see the confidence in Sean out on the mound. I mean, he got off to a terrible start in the bullpen, really did not pitch well. got thrown into the rotation on the 13th of June. This is his 12th start now, and he's just getting better and better.
Andres Chaparro takes a sweeper for a strike. Chaparro platooning at first base these days since the trade of Luis Garcia to the Yankees, and since the All-Star break, Chaparro's OPS is over 1,000. Takes a sweeper outside, a ball and a strike. Chaparro, 27 years old. He made his debut with the Nats last year, played in just 34 games. You see how the velocity has increased as the season has gone along.
He's in his 11 starts. He's only given up 11 home runs. So that's like one a start. He's gone deep the last 4 starts. He's gone 6 innings 3 times, and his last outing against the Pirates, his best outing of the year, he went 7.
So 4 straight quality starts for Minaya. 2-2 on the way, and Chaparro swings and misses at the sweeper, and Manaya's got back-to-back strikeouts to start the day.
Just seems to me, Gary, that Sean has figured it out. I mean, he's always been a raw power pitcher, and I think he's realized now, I don't have to just throw it through a brick wall. Let me just focus on putting the ball. I got good stuff. I don't have to throw it through a brick wall, and the results are coming. And he could have been a potential trade guy, but now he's pitched himself back into next year's roster. There's no question in that rotation.
Brady House is hitting .361 against lefties this year. House DH'd last night. He's playing third base today. He's 3 for 4 with a home run against Minaya. As we mentioned, Sean got roughed up by the Nats in relief back in April. 6 runs in 2 2/3. House had a piece of that. And the backdoor sweeper misses. 2 balls and a strike. .23-year-old Brady House, former first-round draft pick by the Nats.
Well, here's the strikeout pitch. Look at the grip right there. Look at the thumb and the ball and the index finger. It's almost like he's holding it like it's an egg, Gary. Balls are not fragile like eggs.
Well, the ball's not an ovoid. It's a sphere. Popped up into shallow right, and Benj, looking through the sunglasses, grabs it, and Manaya's got a 1-2-3 opening inning. Mets come to bat with no score. Honda starting lineup for the Mets this afternoon. Jared Young slots into the 5-hole. .989 OPS over the last 30 games for Young. Jorge Polanco back on the lineup at DH.
And there's Brad Lord right there. You look at his numbers, and he's a different pitcher on the road than he is at home. He's 3-0 on the road with a 1.29 earned run average over 16 appearances at home, and ERA over 7. And that brings us to the defender defense, with Washington defense. Andrew Pickney gets his 4th start out in left field. Dylan Cruz, 38 start in right, and Harry Ford, 12th start behind the plate. As Gary mentioned, this is their platoon lineup and thus defensive alignment.
A.J. Ewing takes up and away from Brad Lord for ball 1. Ewing 0 for 4 last night, but hit the ball hard twice.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat. He says he doesn't feel good. He told Steve a little bit under the ball. Been working on that. I always felt when I got under, he said he had a loop in his swing. Very interesting, and I totally get it. And just focus on the top half of the ball, hitting line drives, and you'll get past that.
Brad Lord, like Minaya from the other side, throws from a low arm angle. He gets less extension down the mound than any pitcher in the majors. We talk all the time about pitchers improving their perceived velocity by getting great extension. Lord is the opposite. He releases the ball closer to the rubber than any pitcher in the majors.
Well, he's what you call a dart thrower here. Yeah, no, gosh, not at all. Hardly any oomph in his pitches when he throws it.
Lord spent a month on the injured list with a side issue. This is only his third appearance since coming back. They're hoping to stretch him out to 3 or 4 innings today through 51 pitches against the Reds last Sunday in his prior outing. 3-2 to Ewing leading off, and he takes inside ball 4. So Ewing has not been walking much. That's supposed to be one of the superpowers, and certainly was when he first came up. Draws a walk to lead off the first inning.
Lord almost throws 3/4 to a little below 3/4, and his ball runs horizontal away. He's kind of a slinger.
Mets have seen Lord twice in relief this year, and he's pitched well. 5 innings, 1 run, 3 hits in 2 outings.
Yeah, he had 25 relief appearances this year. His first start was against the Red Sox on July 1st, and he went on the IL. He pitched only 2 1/3, and then his last outing, August 9th, he went 2 2/3 against the Reds.
It's Lindor who homered last night. Francisco over his last 24 games is a .990 OPS. He has really rounded into form offensively, even as he continues to be inconsistent defensively. Ewing takes off, and Lindor takes high, and Ford has no chance. Ewing got a tremendous jump for his 16th stolen base.
They're just starting to do what they did last year with that walking kind of stutter step. And I don't understand why the pitchers, when they get committed out too far, they're an easy pickoff. I mean, watch this. You can get them. But sometimes pitchers are so focused on going home that their brain can't click unless a first baseman yells, "Step off." How about that? That helps.
1-1 to Lindor. That's the first stolen base that Lord has allowed this year in 62 innings of work. But the Mets obviously felt they had some kind of a tell, and Ewing got the great jump, and now the Mets have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And Lindor takes that sweeper down, and it's 3-1, and Lord really struggling with his command early on. Well, Bichette waiting on deck. We mentioned the dearth of walks for Ewing. 32nd game he's led off, only the 2nd time he's led off a game with a walk. That's a big part of his game. 3-1 to Lindor.
Good pitch to hit.
And he takes a knee-high fastball for a strike. 3-2.
Interesting that he took that pitch. There's the home run last night. It's 12. Hanging breaking ball. Lindor from the right side likes the ball belt high up. From the left side, he likes it down.
8 home runs left-handed, 4 right-handed this year for Francisco. And he lifts this one toward the left field line. Pinckney coming over near that corner, and it runs out of room. It is such a difficult place to negotiate down both lines. That low fence right where it angles.
Yep. It's great for the hitter because it takes away foul space. You live to fight another day.
Lord started 2 games against the Mets last year. He's pitched well against the Mets when they've seen him. 7th pitch of the at-bat to Lindor, and he takes it outside, ball 4. The Mets have back-to-back walks to start the opening inning. And for a pitcher who's going to be on a limited pitch count today, that is a very dangerous way to start the game. Nationals have struggled with their pitching. Their rotation has been up and down. Their bullpen has been flat-out awful. We saw it last night. They got 5 good innings out of their starter, Andrew Alvarez. He weakened in the 6th, and then the bullpen let that game blow up as Simon Matthews, the pitching coach, goes out to talk to Lord.
Well, looks like he can be on a Southern California beach with a surfboard.
Straight out of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
You need Ray Walston as the manager.
Well, Ray's no longer with us, but Sean Penn is.
Yes, he is. Dude. He's a slinger, Garrett, and he's going to have trouble commanding. That fastball is going to run away from him. He really has to make sure to tuck that shoulder. I mean, what little I know about pitching.
Blake Butera, the youthful manager of the Nationals, 33 years old, youngest manager in the majors. So an early chance for Bo Bichette, whose numbers with runners in scoring position have skyrocketed over the last couple of months.
Yes, they have.
Early in the season, he was hitting under 200 with runners in scoring position, which has always been his superpower. He's up to 294 for the season.
Gary, and that's with 102 at-bats.
Let's see how those numbers have changed. Came into the year lifetime 330, and he's working back towards that.
No, he's got 6 more weeks. I mean, really, to me right now, it's August 15th, and this is sound the alarm, open the gates. This is, to me, was the beginning of the stretch run. The 15th, that's when you downshift to 3rd gear and then get that thing in 5th gear real quick.
What does that mean exactly? Carson Bench on deck. Could you explain exactly what that means?
I always felt the dog days of July, and the season has so much left, and then you got early August. The 15th was, it's time. You got a second win, and that's when the chips are down. Right here. Boom.
So earlier in the season, you weren't really in gear?
No, I was in gear,
but in low gear?
You fight through the, I hate to say fatigue, because it's too much of a word bandied about today. You sucked it up, but in the dog days, you had to suck it up. It was a grind in the dog days. But in 6 weeks, it was like,
That takes strike 3 call, but he's going to challenge the rule like Barnester Sehan.
I think it got the corner. We'll see.
And it's a strike. So that's the first out for Lord, and the Mets are down to 1 challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
That's too close to take. You know, another thing too, Gare, about that final, it was, you know, things are drilled into you. My father always said you want to be a second half player. And he always mentioned that August 15th was the beginning of the stretch run in the major leagues. And, you know, those things are getting embedded in your brain, and then you become an adult and they're there. That's your training.
Carson Bench working on a 17-game on-base streak, 940 OPS over the 17 games. That's a lot of hot hitters right now, and Bench is right at the forefront. Since the trade deadline, the Mets have one of the best records in baseball.
Padres are coming into town. They're red hot.
Rays had their 9-game winning streak stopped last night by Baltimore.
I like when 2 hot teams meet head to head. And that's certainly the case.
Inside corner 2-1.
That's certainly the case. Okay. That's what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to the Padres series.
Well, the Padres have been tearing it up 6 in a row, 16 out of 20. Jackson Merrill is scorching hot. So is Fernando Tatis. Their offense really struggled first half of the year, but they are hitting on all cylinders now. It's been a laborious first inning for Lord, walking the first 2 before striking out Bichette. 2-1 to Bench. And misses away, and again he's behind on the count, 3-1. Jared Young, the on-deck batter.
So this is a guy that's going to love, against left-handers, he's going to love that fastball running away. He may pop one inside on you once in a while, but his bread and butter is outside corner to lefties.
Yeah, he wants to get the ground ball. That's his game. 58% ground ball rate coming into the game. That's one of the highest figures in the league. He's already got 7 ground ball double plays in just 62 innings. So he's looking for that. But he's run his 3rd full count to the first 4 batters. Ewing at second, Lindor at first with 1 out. Bench fights one off on his hands.
Well, this was the go-ahead base hit last night. I believe it was in the 6th, or not, and that was a bullet. And Nasim Nunez is just a terrific glove. He made terrific plays, but Bench finally got one by him. That was a big RBI.
Nunez again at second base. Abrams at short, although that's going to change shortly. 3-2. Inside, ball 4, 3rd walk of the inning, and that loads him up for Jared Young. So a nightmarish beginning for Lord.
So
And now he needs a double play in the worst possible way.
you see that movement on his fastball. He has to be so precise if he brings it inside. And here comes the man of the hour here, who's been red hot.
So Benj reaches base for an 18th straight game, which ties Juan Soto for the longest streak by a Met this year. Jared Young homered last night. Last 30 games hitting .319 with an .889 OPS.
Should be a good matchup for him if he makes Lord get it down.
Infield back at double play depth, and he takes low and in for ball one.
When he's got that moving fastball, he's got to be just precise to throw it for a strike. If he misses on the inside corner, it's going to be over the middle.
And Young takes a big hack. 1-1.
And there's that pitch up. It's really not his strength up in the letters.
Mets had a first inning grand slam earlier this week in Atlanta when Brett Beatty hit one. Now Young at the plate with the bases loaded in the first. And he goes after a high fastball again. That's 1-2.
When you got the uppercut, it's hard to square it up when the ball up in the strike zone.
Lord ahead in the count, 1-2. And Young takes up and in. That barely missed. 2-2.
That was a gutty take right there.
Lord is going to throw at least 5 pitches to each of his first 5 batters. This will be his 30th pitch of this opening inning. There's some stirring in the Washington bullpen. And Young gets a breaking ball, hits it down the left field line, slicing toward the corner. That's a fair ball. It bounces up against the sidewall. 2 runs come in. Stopping at third is Benj. An opposite field 2-run double for Jared Young, and the Mets cash a pair. It's 2-0 New York.
Goes right with it. Backdoor slider. Did not try to pull. He's been doing that lately, and that's just good hitting where it's pitched. And he continues his productivity.
So 3 walks by Lord. The Mets get 2 of them home. Now the infield comes in. Marcus Semien the batter with 1 out, second and third, and he nearly gets hit by that first sweeper. Ball 1. So Lord is coming apart here in this first inning, and there's action in the Washington bullpen. Remember, he hasn't thrown more than 59 pitches in an outing this year. He's thrown 31 pitches to get 1 out. And Semien takes fastball strike, 1-1.
But you got to tag up on third base. Lindor had a good read all the way. Almost missed. Look at, he almost overran him. Almost missed the base. That's good base running by Lindor.
Well, he almost ran up the back of Ewing.
Yeah, Ewing had a late read on that ball dropping and almost got run over.
Well, you don't want to pass him because then you're out.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure Lindor would have put the brakes on.
Will Dion up in the bullpen for the Nats. Semien fouls one off his foot. Marcus had a double last night in 4 at-bats. Take a little stroll now to shake that off after fouling that ball off his foot. New shoes?
Lime.
Yeah, but he's changing them. Does he have base running shoes and field shoes?
I've lost track. Long time ago, even with the gloves.
Bench at third, Young at second, infield in, 2-2 to Semien. And Marcus gets a breaking ball up and in, and for Lord, that is now his 4th full count in the first 6 batters.
I love it when Semien goes the other way. And he's done it twice. He did it in Atlanta, and now last night's opening game, because they pitch him away. He can do that.
3-2 with Beatty on deck, and that's fouled back into the screen.
ball 4. But Lord is just really, he's put himself in the soup.
Seventh pitch of the inning upcoming, and Semien grounds it to short. Abrams coming home for the tag play, perfectly done, and Bench is tagged out for the second out. So Abrams, who they are planning to move off shortstop to soon, made a nice play.
Well, contact here, nothing that Bench can do. The only thing he could do is this, maybe getting a rundown in the hopes of getting Semien to second base.
So 2 out, now Brett Beatty. Beatty has a home run in 5 career at bats against Brad Lord.
And it's been a tough year for Brett.
Young now at third, Semien at first. Brett takes it way up high for ball 1, and you have to wonder if Lord is running out of gas. Lord has faced 6 hitters before Beatty, and every one of them has seen at least 5 pitches.
I just don't see with his delivery how he slings it, how he can be consistent with his command.
And now 2-0 to Beatty. You have to figure this is going to be his last batter if you can't get Beatty out.
I'm not liking the body language, but if you're a Met fan, you got to be yucking it up. Take advantage. It's a good pitch to hit.
Not even close. Ball 3.
I'd give Beatty the hit sign here, Gare. Even though he's hitting 214, he might just groove one.
40 pitches. And not done yet with this opening inning. And Beatty does swing 3-0 and fouls it back.
Nope. 3-1's just as sweet. Got a pitcher laboring to find the plate. And he's just going to go to his safety. That pitch away, left center field gap. Shortstop way up the middle.
Beatty fouls up another fastball, and it's 3-2. 7 batters, 5 full counts for Brad Lord. Now Chaparro, the first baseman, trying to get Lord's attention, telling him he's going to play behind Semien. Semien will be running. Young at third. 3-2 to Beatty, and he popped it up in foul ground. House comes over for a look, but that'll be out of play.
It's the same breaking ball he threw Young. A little backdoor.
Long time in the dugout for Sean Manaea after a 1-2-3 top of the first, a 43 pitch bottom of the first, and frankly Lord will be thrilled if he can get out of this with only 2 runs scored. And Beatty takes the inside, ball 4. They're going to challenge the call.
I think it missed.
So the Mets lost a challenge earlier in this half inning, and now Ford loses a challenge, and the Mets have the bases loaded again. The 4th walk of the inning for Lord.
Jeez.
Jorge Polanco coming up, and Blake Butera is coming out, and that's going to be it for Lord.
God.
So Lord pressed into service here, trying to stretch him out so that he can be a more productive part of the rotation, but he throws 44 pitches in the first inning to get just 2 outs. Told to the bullpen, brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. Two looks, one hat. The first 15,000 fans of this Tuesday's game against the Padres will get a Mets reversible bucket hat. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets.
Reversible. Look at that. Home and away.
2 looks, only 1 hat. Or you can just have all the colors of the rainbow on your hat, throw in some dance moves. 26-year-old Will Dion was acquired from the Guardians in the trade that sent Foster Griffin to Cleveland at the deadline. This will be his third appearance for the Nats. Jorge Polanco bats with the bases loaded and 2 out. 2 runs home in this first inning. Well, he's right over the top. Dion misses with that first breaking ball.
Big curveball. Probably throws that fastball upstairs, and it's going to be straight because he's over the top.
Polanco hitting .071 as a right-hand batter this year. And Dion quickly falls behind him 2-0. Brad Lord walked 4, gave up only 1 hit, the 2-run double to Jared Young. And there's a chance for 3 more to be added against his ledger if Polanco can make something happen.
It's an outing to forget.
Polanco needs something good to happen. This has been a lost year for Jorge.
It has. I feel for him.
Just half the season with the Achilles issue. He hasn't been able to play the field since the first few games of the season. Great clutch hitter last year with Seattle. Lost year 26. Changeups in for a strike, and it's 2-2. Young at third, Semien at second, Beatty at first with 2 down. And Polanco able to foul off the changeup and stay on the at bat. I think we've seen a lefty throw as straight over the top as Dion this year. We've seen some right-handers, but this guy is just like a windmill.
12 o'clock on the dial.
Two coming, and it's foul back.
Well, Polanco's taking aggressive swings, and that's a good sign.
He's hit 2 home runs this year. They've both come as a left-hand batter.
You don't want to, when you go bad and you're losing your confidence, you start feeling for the ball. Let it rip.
Mets have seen 50 pitches already in this first inning. And Polanco goes down swinging on the changeup, and the Mets settle for just the 2 runs. 2-0 New York after 1. Well, it's been a half an hour since Sean Manaea threw his last pitch. What teams always say, right? Let's go hit for a half hour. Well, the Mets hit for a half hour.
That's fine in game.
C.J. Abrams grounds one down to first. Young knocks it down, makes the recovery. 1 pitch, 1 out from Manaea in the second.
And Young has played a very, very nice first base. He has made all the plays. He hasn't stumbled and fallen. He stayed on his feet. He's really played a good first base.
And now Harry Ford, the rookie catcher. Ford was a first-round draft pick by the Mariners in 21. Out of the Atlanta area, made his debut last year, traded to the Nats in the offseason for lefty reliever Jose Ferrer. Sweeper right off his fists. Foul back, 0-2. Ford has had an extra base hit in each of his last 4 games, sharing the catching right now with Keibert Ruiz, with Drew Millis on the injured list. This is just the 13th game that Ford has started for the Nats. But he's a guy they look at as their catcher of the future. And Manaea blows him away with a fastball. Sean struck out 3 of the first 5.
All of the 3 strikeouts to the right-hand hitters, Gary, have been up and away. Belt high or up on the outside corner.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Jacob Young, and he takes a fastball strike. Young 1 for 4 last night. Moved up to 6th in the batting order against the lefty. He's been hot, and he's hitting over 300 against left-handers this year. You have to pinch the corners in against him until 2 strikes because he is such a threat to bunt. There's a ton of speed in this Washington lineup. Young, Lyle, Nunez, even Ford is pretty quick for a catcher. 0-2 coming. And the sweeper looped into shallow right. And that's going to fall for a base hit. We saw Young get his base hit to right field in the 9th inning against Single last night. He gets one the other way against Minaya as well.
Off the end of the bat. It was a backdoor slider. And look, it's a perfect pitch. And he gets the end of his bat and dorks it out there in the right. It's a big hang with him.
So the first base runner against Minaya, a 2-out single. Now Dylan Lyle is DHing today after playing the outfield last night. And Lyle chops one on the right side. Simeon's got it and throws him out to retire the side. Minaya with a shutdown inning. 2-0 Mets.
9 per month lease on Ultima.
Home second inning. Francisco Alvarez leads off for New York.
See Francisco's average getting below 250. He's been striking out too much lately.
8 strikeouts in his last 9 at bats. Dion over the top with a fastball for a strike.
But he's always dangerous because he's always taking that big hack. If he catches up to one, it's going to go.
And with 6 weeks to go in the season and having already missed a month of time, he's already tied his career high in walks. He's been a little more patient, but with some deeper counts have come some strikeouts lately. Takes a changeup outside, 2-1. So Brad Lord threw 44 pitches without completing the first inning. Last time a starter threw 44 pitches in the first inning against the Mets, it was Chris Archer for the Pirates back in 2019. It was ugly for Lord, but fortunate to get out of it with only 2 runs. He had a 1 hit, 4 walks, 1 strikeout, and Dion came in to get the final out in the first.
Dion's got a nice changeup, really a good changeup.
And did he get him to swing at it? No. Alvarez gets a pass from Willie Traynor, the first base umpire, and yet another full count.
So Dion's first pitch of this relief appearance was against Polanco and was a curveball, and he hasn't thrown one since. It's been relying on his fastball and his changeup.
6 of the first 9 Met hitters have run full counts. And Alvarez takes strike 3 call, and he knew it. Change up on the other side of the plate. Catching the inside corner, and that's 2 strikeouts for Dion. Well, the Mets have fared okay against their own division, just 2 games under 500. It's the National League Central that has really cost the Mets. Mets are way below 500 against the Central.
Were they 9-19? Something. That's what they are, yes. Or you could say, yeah, 9-19.
Yeah, you could, but that's what it is. Here's A.J. Ewing. And he takes a fastball down for ball 1.
Oh, we got some more for you here. There's the breakdown.
Well, they've done okay against the American League, but most National League teams have. A very weak year for the American League.
Except for the All-Star game.
I mean, right now, the Detroit Tigers would be a postseason team. They're 2 games under 500. Popped up on the left side, and comes Pinckney to call. And he puts it away to retire Ewing, 2 out. Think about that. The Tigers are 60-62, and if the season ended today, they would be playing in the postseason as the 3rd wild card in the American League.
And that would be a little bit of an embarrassment, wouldn't it, to have a
60-63 now because they lost to the White Sox this afternoon.
Team getting in postseason with a sub-500 record.
That's the way it goes with interleague play. The National League has dominated this year. There's Francisco Lindor, and he takes changeup for a strike. Lindor walked and scored in the first inning. See the shadows of the light stanchions.
No real effect right now positively in the pitcher's to the pitcher's advantage.
Oscar Ford.
This is the curveball. Look at his arm way down. Big shoulder lift. Right over the top. And that was a spinner. That wasn't a great curveball. That was kind of a helicopter. And he looked at his expression. He knew he got away with one.
Well, Dion from Sulphur, Louisiana. McNeese State University. Ball 2 strikes to Lindor. Made his debut with the Guardians this year. Was in 12 games for them and was dealt at the deadline. One of 4 players the Nats got when they traded the rookie left-hander Foster Griffin, who did not look good at all when the Mets faced him in Cleveland.
It's one of the best changeups I've seen all year from the pitcher, Gary. It's really, particularly from a left-hander, it's the best I've seen from a left-hander. I mean, I haven't seen Sanchez. Obviously, Sanchez has a great off-speed pitch. A little turnover screwball to it, like Tug. And Tug threw over the top.
Tug McGraw, yes,
He did.
certainly did. Number 45. Title of his book, Screwball. Swing and a miss. Lindor down on strikes. So Dion has struck out 3 of the first 4. Mets have a 2-0 lead after 2 at Citi Field. Third inning, 2-0 New York. Now Sim Nunez, the Nats second baseman, will lead off against Sean Manaea, who's required just 22 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. Nunez, switch hitter, takes cutter for a strike, 0-1. Now Sim Nunez, born in the Bronx, grew up in Georgia, has family in both the New York and Atlanta areas. Always loves playing in New York. Showed off some defense last night before finally Carson Bench hit one that was too hot for him to handle.
Got a baseball on his chin there with a crown.
Nunez pops one up behind second base, and Semien backpedals. 1 out. Let's check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Guys, Keith, you were talking about this in the last inning, but Jared Young has been really pretty good over at first base this year. And if you talk to him and Kai Correa, the bench coach, who's also the infield guru on this team, they say that the biggest improvement with Jared Young is simply being able to field the ground balls. He had played first base in the past, but he always had trouble over at first base just fielding ground balls. The change that was made sounds simple enough, Keith, but you tell me what a difference it could make. He was apparently very late in getting his glove away from his body and down ready to field the ball, so it almost looked like things were rushed, like he was jabbing at the ball, and now he's much more rhythmic when he gets that glove away from his body in ready position to field ground balls, and he says that has made all the difference for him this year.
Well, I tell you what, the infields are so fast, it's almost like AstroTurf, and it is like AstroTurf. I always had my glove down in my squat position. I'd take a step in and jump up in the air a little bit and come down on the ready to go left, right, forward, back. But my glove was always facing home plate and down on the dirt. And a lot of times when I was holding runners on, particularly when I was holding runners on, Steve,
As Pinckney strikes out for the second out.
you know, the ball, there were, I can say maybe in my career where a ball was hit so hard, if I hadn't had my glove down, it would have gone through my legs. And it was like, look what I found, but my glove was in the proper position. So I'm just curious why someone had not corrected that with him a long time ago. But like you said, he's played a really nice first base. He's making all the plays. He looks comfortable. And he's not a negative over there.
Well, before this year, he'd been more an outfielder than a first baseman.
Right.
0-2 to Dylan Cruz as Manaea is just filling the strike zone.
He's pounding the fastball here up and away to righties, and they're not getting on top. If they keep on swinging at it like that, boy, you can get ahead all day long.
18 of his last 19 pitches have been strikes. 0-2 to Cruz, and the sweeper misses. Cruz struck out his first time up. 10 batters, 9 first pitch strikes for Sean. He was just locked into a groove. And Cruz drives one out to center. Coming on is Ewing, and he makes the grab to retire the side. 1-2-3 from Minaya in the third. 2-0 New York.
Not the itch.
Home third inning on a gorgeous day at Citi Field. 83 degrees, light breeze, perfect. Well, Bichette takes curveball for a strike from Will Dion. Bichette was caught looking his first time up. Dion's come in and settled things down. Struck out 3 of his first 4 hitters. Let's check in with Steve.
You know, guys, A.J. Ewing has been so impressive defensively that sometimes you forget it's only been a few years since he's been in the outfield and still working on certain things. And the play that ended that last half inning, that is what A.J. Ewing says used to be the hardest play for him, but now he's feeling comfortable getting to. And it's the ball that is off the end of the bat that he said in center field he used to always take a step back. He wouldn't be able to read it properly. And now, as he's seen it more and more and he's changed his setup a little bit, he can judge that right off the end of the bat and know immediately my first step has to be in, and I'm going to go charge that ball. Not sure he gets to it if he was doing it the way he did before.
Well, we saw that when he first came up. He had trouble with balls hit in front of him, misjudging them initially. But he has certainly evolved over the last few months. Carson Bench on deck, and then Jared Young for the Mets in the third against Dion. And that caught the top of the zone for strike 3. Got him with the changeup. So Dion has been impressive. He's retired 5 in a row, striking out 4.
Nestor Seiya is the home plate umpire. He's got a high strike zone. That borderline strike up on the letters is going the pitcher's way. He's consistent with it, so you have no gripe.
Well, each team lost a challenge in the first inning, which makes it harder for them to challenge at this point. Carson Bench takes up an in-ball 1. Well, we've seen a lot of great rookie performances this year, but there has never been a rookie performance like the one that occurred today at Wrigley Field. 23-year-old Joshua Baez for the St. Louis Cardinals became the first player ever to hit 3 home runs in his first major league game.
And that was his first 3 at-bats.
First 3 at-bats. The first pitch he saw, he hit 449 feet into the center field bleachers at Wrigley Field. And then he followed with homers his next 2 at-bats. Baez hit 34 home runs in AAA this year, so the power certainly was expected, but that much that quickly. He's a Boston native, Baez, right-hand hitter, 6'2", 220, and the Cardinals got themselves an 8-4 win over the Cubs, largely on the back of Joshua Baez in his first big league game. Bench drew a walk his first time up. He's now reached base safely in 18 straight games. And he goes after a high fastball and strikes out. Will Dion putting on a show in relief. 5 strikeouts of the first 6 batters.
It's a deceptive motion, Gary. Look at that big lift. And he's not an overpowering pitcher either. He's sneaky. And those guys over the top. It's just you gotta make him get it down. It's easier said than done.
There's Jared Young, who drove in the 2-man runs with a double into the left field corner. Jared came into the day hitting .326 with runners in scoring position. Bettered that.
No, he went the other way, and that's something when he was here earlier in the year, he was pull, but he's been using the opposite gap, and there right down the line, the opposite gap, opposite line. So he's getting more comfortable. He's getting an opportunity to play, and that's a big thing.
Well, he had a handful of games with the Cubs. He went to Korea, came back, was with the Mets for a small portion of last year, made a good impression, and this year was not really expected to be a huge part of the mix. Tore his meniscus early in the season, which cost him about 6 weeks. And since he's come back, with all the circumstances, Polanco hurt and Vientos and Beatty struggling and Vientos getting hurt, he's wound up playing more first base than anybody else. And again, the more he plays, the more he gets to show, the more he looks like he could be a big part of the mix for the Mets next year.
Well, when the season started, he was going to be a strength on the bench, a left-handed guy with a lot of pop off the bench and spot playing. But he's got his opportunity.
Ford comes back, sheds the mask, but it lands in the front row. Making some friends. You know, the screen is in front of you to protect you, but the ball's coming in from over the top. No protection.
It's like artillery barrage or a mortar barrage.
Well, in Shea, they used to have the horizontal screen that protected the folks in those box seats.
Yes, you're right, and the ball would roll back down on the field.
One way they save money on baseball.
That was all the BP balls here.
Swing and a miss, and Dion strikes out the side in the third. How about this kid? 7 batters, 6 strikeouts. Kids enjoying a day at the ballpark. That's with a 2-0 lead as we go to the 4th. And really, Sean, over his last half dozen starts, has trimmed down his repertoire, where he's really just throwing 4-seamers and sweepers, and it's working for him.
And his breaking ball is a sweeper because he's out there almost sidearm. And he's really darting that outside corner, Garrett.
He's thrown 35 pitches, 27 strikes. I mean, he's been 0-2 on just about everybody. Andres Chaparro struck out his first time up, one of 4 strikeouts from Anaya. And Chaparro drives one to deep left field. Back goes Beatty near the wall, and it's out of here. Andres Chaparro, with his 7th home run of the year, gets the Nats on the board and cuts the Met lead to 2-1.
Hey, tip your hat. That pitch was inside. He's been pitching away to right-hand hitters, and he came in with a fastball, and Chaparro was up to it.
And Chaparro has been a red-hot hitter. 7 home runs now in just 108 at bats.
Boy, he just turned on it. Hitters getting paid for make a living too, Gary, you know. So that's the 11th home run that Manaea has given up, and he came right back inside to the next hitter with a house, which I like.
Chaparro's a little fire plug. He is a strong man. House takes a sweeper inside. It's 1-1.
Let's see the location. He's on top of the plate. Had too much in the middle. He didn't get it in enough.
Brady House flied out to right his first time up. 15 home runs now allowed by Manaea over 108 innings. And House takes just off the plate, and they check the half swing. Yes, he went around.
Ooh.
The home plate umpire Seja was not going to ask for help, and then Alvarez said, "Please ask," and Willie Traynor said he swung.
I thought it was a high strike that he's been calling the whole game. He didn't call it here. Oh, come on, that's belt high and had plate.
And he swung. So, sit down. 5 strikeouts for Sean. Here's C.J. Abrams. The Nats are the #1 offensive team in baseball. Most home runs, most runs scored. But with James Wood on the sidelines with an oblique injury and Luis Garcia traded to the Yankees, it's not the same team that it was a couple of weeks ago. And C.J. Abrams has been kind of left naked in this lineup. His numbers have been fabulous this year. 5th in the league in slugging, leads the league in RBIs. But then they dropped a bombshell on him yesterday. told him that he's going to be changing positions in the next few days, which I thought was really interesting in terms of timing. Right? They could have waited to the offseason. They could have waited for spring training. Instead, with 6 weeks to go in the season, they're going to take what is now their best player and they're going to move to a different position.
It's a bit odd. No question about it.
I mean, he has struggled at shortstop. There's no question about that. The sweeper bounced down to first, and Young will take it himself. 2 out. But it just seems like a really weird time of year to be making that kind of a move.
Well, he's made 19 errors at shortstop, and you know what? Why not? You have a talk with him. Has Abrams ever played second base? He's always been a shortstop.
He has played some when he was with the Padres at the start of his career, but he's mostly been a shortstop.
Hey, to me, as long as you're in the lineup.
Here's Harry Ford, who struck out his first time up. I mean, they do have Nasim Nunez, who has had a Gold Glove year at second base and is probably a better shortstop than Abrams, and that's the short-term solution. And they also have some up-and-coming shortstops through their system. Seaver King is the closest to the big leagues. Eli Willits, who was the first pick in the draft a couple of years ago, he's working his way up. So they've got some guys who down the road will be possibilities at shortstop. I just think it's weird to mess with your best player at this time of year. I mean, because they're still at the periphery of the race.
Yes, they are.
It's not like they're completely out of it. Ford fouls off the sweeper.
I think that's, to me, is far worse, is that the players, well, geez, the front office quit on us. We're right in the thick of it. We're scoring runs. And, you know, they need pitching.
That's drilled toward the left field corner by Ford. Overcomes Beatty to make the grab. Brett got a nice jump on that ball, and that retires the side. The home run by Chaparro cuts it to 2-1.
At Resorts World, New York City.
Well, here are some Little League shots for you. Congratulations, by the way, to the kids from Bayonne, New Jersey, who beat Darien last night to qualify for Williamsport in the Little League World Series. Here's the juniors division from Wayne, down the road from Bayonne. The Seahorses, of course. Long Beach, Seahorses. Lots of sand.
Pony League.
Go Mets.
Buddies.
Raiders buddies.
Bonding on the field.
If you'd like to send us photos of your youth baseball and softball teams, scan the code.
Yeah, a nice crowd today. Really a nice crowd.
Marcus Semien will try and solve Will Dion, who has dominated the Mets over 2 1/3. 7 batters faced, all retired with 6 strikeouts. Semien hit fielder's choice his first time up. And takes the changeup low and away, 1-1.
He's got a little screwball to his changeup, Gary, if you noticed. And he's missed with it. He's missed outside. If he can be like Tug and perfect that, as Tug had the screwball, of course. Be a very effective pitch for him, and it's effective right now. It's a good changeup, and there the shadows now are unfavorable to the pitcher.
Fastball runs inside. It's 3-1. Brett Beatty on deck, and then Jorge Polanco for the Mets in the 4th against 26-year-old Will Dion, who has certainly made an impression. First time he's been behind in the count, and he misses down with the changeup for ball 4. So the Mets finally got a base runner against Dion, a leadoff walk. But he has been dominant. Here are your Sage pitching decisions.
6 strikeouts, excuse me. The changeup has been an upstairs fastball, upstairs little runner. That ball ran.
Pitching decisions presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. So now Brett Beatty walked his first time up against Brad Lord. He swings over a first pitch fastball. Lord lasted just 2/3 of an inning through 44 pitches, walked 4. Mets have only had 1 hit in this game, but they lead 2-1. The hit was a 2-run double by Jared Young to cash in a couple of those walks.
Yeah, Simeon is a base stealing threat, and it would be a good opportunity here if he can steal a pillow here.
43 pitches for Dion, the most he's thrown in a big league game. Simeon dancing off first base. Dion comes home, and Beatty flies one out to left. Playable for Pinckney in front of the warning track. And Simeon tags, but stays put. 1 out. Met leaders against the Nationals/Expos franchise. Sean Green at 427.
Wow.
As a Met against the Nationals. He wasn't here very long. Darryl Strawberry, David Wright, Tom Seaver, the names you expect to see. Roger McDowell, John Franco.
Darryl killed the Expos. Just killed them.
Including the home run off the ring on opening day at Olympic Stadium.
And I was very happy that he killed them, because I never liked playing in Stade Olympique. It was like a Monet painting. It was like the lily pads there. It was just green and yellow. The ball was yellow instead of white. And they had a good pitching staff.
I was surprised that nobody ever got killed by a batted ball with that ball coming out of the yellow seats behind home plate. Just a terrible design for a baseball stadium.
And the lights, I think, were tinted too. I don't know.
Blanco lifts one out to left. Pinckney has this one lined up. And that's the 2nd out. So that's finally making some contact against Dion, with 2 fly ball outs. The most pitches Dion threw in a minor league game this year was 55. His previous high in a big league game was 41. The Nationals bullpen has thrown more innings than any bullpen in the majors, which is a problem. And numbers as a bullpen have been flat out awful, but Dion's improving them today.
They are second to the Colorado Rockies in ERA as far as team ERA, starting, pitching, and relieving.
Alvarez fouls off the changeup, and it's 0-2. Well, there are the numbers. Most innings pitched by a bullpen. White Sox are close behind them. White Sox, though, are in first place because they have some pretty good offense as well. Guys like Murakami and Montgomery. Mets will see the White Sox on their next road trip next weekend.
We'll be watching on TV, you and me here.
Avidly. Intently. With an eye for detail.
Are you going to critique Steve's doing play-by-play?
Only if he asks. Don't want to impose. 0-2 to Alvarez. And Francisco fouls back the high fastball. Brad Lord imploded in the first inning. Will Dion has given the Nats exactly what they needed to stay in this game into the middle innings. You know, the big question in that series in Chicago is going to be, is Steve going to do his hot dog routine?
Oh, how's he going to do that? Well, he may have to forego.
Well, somebody will just have to bring him the hot dog and the mustard, the napkins. 1-2 coming, and he struck him out. Boy, Will Dion, 7 strikeouts through 3 1/3 in relief. Still 2-1 Mets after 4.
Tomorrow, the Mets.
What? Gare?
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Is he like making for like Zorro?
Just like the rabbi at my synagogue.
Jeez.
Which I don't know what it has to do with K-pop Demon Hunters, but
You know, I wasn't going to go there, but I kind of tend to agree with you.
Fifth inning, Jacob Young leads off against Sean Manaea. Young has one of the 2 hits against Sean. He takes a sweeper for a strike. He punched a base hit to right field in the second. The other hit was an Andres Chaparro home run. Corners pinch in against Young, who's always a threat to bunt. He pops one foul, backing out of play, and yet another 0-2 count for Manaea. It feels like he's been 0-2 all afternoon.
Yep.
He gave up the home run on an 0-2 pitch. The first home run he's allowed on an 0-2 pitch since 2021, 5 years ago.
He's trying to even his record out at 5-5. And you know, he's got 12 hit batsmen, and that's kind of a good thing to be a little bit once in a while, so the players kind of go, oh, you can't get too comfortable in there.
Yeah, but most of his hit batsmen are on the sweeper. And he blows away Young with the fastball. It's 6 Ks now for Manaea, 1 down in the 5th. Around the majors presented by Resorts World New York City. Vlad Guerrero collided with George Lombard while scoring a run last night. Helped the Jays win, but he winds up on the 7-day concussion injured list. What a weird year for Vlad. Power way down. But he's still their most important player. Here's Dalen Lyle. He takes inside for ball 1. Jays are up 2-1 on the Yankees in the 8th today. Blue Jays have won 11 of their last 16 to get themselves back in contention. Just a game out of the last wild card. 2-0 to Dalen Lyle, who grounded out his first time up. Lyle hitting .236 with 1 home run against left-hand pitching. He was so impressive, Lyle, coming down the stretch last year. He played in 91 games. We wound up finishing 5th in the Rookie of the Year balloting. That fastball's in for a strike, and it's 2-2. Struck out 6. This is with a sweeper, and it's 3-2. Nasim Nunez, the on-deck batter. Sean has not walked a batter. He didn't walk anybody in his last start against the Pirates. It's only his second 3-ball count of the day. That's how much of a strike thrower he's been. 59 pitches, 43 strikes so far. 3-2 coming. Struck him out through a fastball by Lyle. Back-to-back strikeouts from Manaea to start the 5th.
Good outside corner, knee-high fastball.
And it's 18 strikeouts in 12 innings over his last 2 starts.
What a turnaround for Sean. And now this is over. No, this is into his 12th start.
Nunez lines one up the middle on one hop to Simeon. And he throws out Nunez to end the inning. 1-2-3 from Manaea. We're halfway through with the Mets up 2-1.
At Toyota's national sales event.
Lopez wants it away. And to deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. To run. Mike Piazza and the Mets lead 3-2.
One of the unforgettable calls in the remarkable career of Howie Rose. Our documentary, Howie Rose, Put It in the Books, presented by Resorts World New York City, premieres Tuesday after the postgame show, only on SNY. It's a great documentary. I recommend it highly.
Did you notice Howie's a left-hander? He's a member of the club.
Well, your club.
That's right, not you. You're not allowed.
A.J. Ewing leads off against Will Dion, who's already gone 3 1/3 in relief. Struck out 7. Going to get some action behind him in the bullpen. Lindor and Bichette to follow after Ewing. And he drops the bat and hits the catcher Ford with it as he was trying to get out of the way of that pitch.
He just got out of the way of that.
The bat hit Ford on the shin guard. Ewing apologized. A.J. walked, stole a base, scored a run on the first, fly down in the second. He fouls one off the left side out of play, 2-1.
Deep in the box like so many hitters, and he's on top of the plate too. That's around a foot off the plate. That was close.
Three and one to Ewing. Mets haven't had a hit against Dion yet. This one skied to deep right center field. Back goes Young to the warning track. At the wall, he makes the catch. Ewing gave it a ride, but Young able to go back and grab it for a long first out.
Well, we've seen enough of Young, Jacob Young. What, top of your screen? Long way to run. He's on his horse. He can go get him.
It's the second one in 2 nights that Ewing has hit to the warning track. The one last night to left center and this one to right center, and Young has been able to handle both. So 1 out. Now Lindor. So Dion up to 57 pitches. This is the most he's thrown in any major or minor league game this year. That's got both of their runs in the first inning after Brad Lord walked 3 and Jared Young hit a 2-run double, and that has been the Mets' only hit because Dion came on to finish the first inning, and he's now gone 3 2/3 without allowing a hit. Late time granted. Lord was already in his motion. I'm surprised Seha gave Lindor time. And Harry Ford was not happy about that at all, and neither is Dion. Last season, Dion threw as many as 93 pitches in a minor league game, but for this year, this is his season high.
A lot of change-ups, Gary.
Yeah. That's clearly his bread and butter. 0-1 to Lindor. Change up off the plate.
It's a good screwball changeup, really. Almost you can call it a screwball.
How do you handle that?
You know what? If I'm a right-hand hitter, I'll crowd the plate and make him aware of it.
Lindor drives one down the left field line, but foul.
You know, dig in and make sure that the catcher sees you and he sees you and get on top of the plate and then look in for a strike.
Tom Cosgrove, next man up in the Washington bullpen. Although if you're Blake Butera, you want Dion out there as long as his arm is attached. This one's popped up on the left side. House coming in toward the plate. And he's got it in foul ground, 2 out. So Dion just keeps on rolling. That's now 4 hitless innings in relief.
So, Gare, as far as a left-hand hitter with a guy throwing a changeup, that just wasn't a pitch that was thrown in my era. And was it Greg Matthews that pitched for the Cardinals?
Yeah,
was the first left-hander that threw me a changeup. And it was up and in, and I saw it, and I jammed myself and hit a weak ground ball to second base. And I said, as I was running to first base, I know I've said this before, I said, I'm going to have to figure this out.
Bichette with 2 straight changeups comes up empty, and it's 0-2.
See, he's got a turnover on it. It's like a screwball. It's a good pitch. It's like Tug's screwball.
John Franco's. I mean, John's Changeup acted like a screwball. Bichette drives this one out to left, but he got it off the end of the bat. And Pinckney is there, and that retires the side. Dion goes 4 1/3 hitless. Still 2-1 New York. Sixth inning, 2-1 New York. And Pinckney, the rookie left fielder, leads off against Sean Manaea. And he takes a fastball that misses for ball 1. Pinckney struck out his first time up, one of 7 strikeouts for Manaea through the first 5 innings. This is only Pinckney's 5th start in the major leagues. Came out of the University of Alabama, 4th round pick in 2013. Dylan Cruz on deck, and then Andres Chaparro, 3 right-handed bats for Manaea. And he hits Pinckney. That's another sweeper for a hit batsman.
You called it, Gare.
It's 13 of them this year for Manaea, 2nd in the league behind Nolan McLean. Well, there's Bill Dion and his changeup.
So it's a circle change, but look how split his index finger is from his middle finger, and look at the release here. It's like a splitter.
Yep. Well,
now that one didn't sink as much.
Been extremely effective. Dylan Cruz hits one down the right field line, foul.
That is a good pitch from that young man.
It's the best Dion since DiMucci.
The Wanderer.
The Belmonts.
They're going around, around, around.
Pinckney, very fast man at first, and Cruz swings over the sweeper, and it's 0-2.
Okay, here we're going to throw. It's a swing and miss, but this one just not that much. But it's just the change of pace,
yeah.
And he obviously does not give it away with his motion or change of point of release. Right up with the top of it. Okay, 3rd time through the order here.
Well, it looks like Dion is finally done after 4 1/3 hitless innings and 7 strikeouts. Let's hoping to have some more success against the next guy. Cruz lines one to right, but Benj is right there, and that's the first out. And with a few hard hit balls against Manaea today, the other one came from the guy coming up now, Andres Chaparro, who homered on an 0-2 pitch in the 4th inning.
Remember, he tried to come inside to Chaparro. Didn't get it in enough. So let's see how he attacks them on this at bat.
With respect to high-speed pitching, the last 2 starts for Manaea, as dominant as he's been since 2024, when he had a remarkable string of starts going down the stretch and into the postseason. Chaparro's home run was his 7th of the year. And the fastball's away, and 2-0.
Well, he tried to come inside, wanted it up, and he just left it out over the plate a little bit too much and not up enough.
Oh, good sweeper there. Pulled the string on it a little bit, and it's 2-1. You can throw that slower sweeper sometimes and
get some drop.
Yep.
I like that pitch. It's a good bait pitch.
2-1 coming, and he gets that sweeper over for a strike, and it's 2-2. After giving up a home run on the fastball to Chaparro, he stick with the breaking ball here.
He's not going to come inside with a fastball, that's for sure.
2-2. Stays with the sweeper, and it nearly hit him. Full count. So now you got Pinckney, a fast man at first.
I don't think they're going to put him in motion. 2-1 game, you're down.
Not going, and the sweeper's outside for ball 4. So he threw him 4 straight sweepers after falling behind 2-0. And winds up walking Chaparro, his first walk in his last 2 starts. And now the tying run moves into scoring position, and Brady House comes up.
So he pitched Chaparro very carefully there. Here, a lot of breaking stuff. Remember, he just cruised through the first 2 times 2 times through the order is predominantly throwing the heater, and this inning he's thrown more breaking balls.
There's no action as yet in the Mets bullpen. Manaea still at a very reasonable 74 pitches through 91 in his last start against the Pirates. Trying to get through 6 innings for a 5th consecutive start. Brady House, the batter, is flied out and struck out 0 for 2. Remember that House has the best numbers on this Washington team against left-handed pitching. Came in hitting .361 against lefties. Pinkney at second, Chaparro at first with 1 out, and House takes a sinker off the corner for ball 1. Looking for the ground ball to get the double play and get out of the inning. He's generated 8 ground ball double plays this year. And a foul tip on a sinker, and it's 1-1. House has a home run on his ledger against Manaea. 3 hits and 6 at bats against Sean. Pinkney is the tying run at second. He has excellent speed. Chaparro at first. He is not fast. There have only been 3 hits in this game. 2 for the Nats, 1 for the Mets. Mets lead it 2-1 in the 6th. Pinkney dancing off the bag, and that's hooked toward the left field corner, and it hooks off the pole for a 3-run homer.
Oh my!
How about that? Ball looked like it was going to go foul, but House doinks one off the pole for a 3-run homer, and the Nats go in front 4-2. 9th home run of the year for Brady House, the Nationals' 2nd home run of the day. House had no idea that that ball was going to hit the foul pole.
I thought it was hooking. Off speed, down and in breaking ball, Gary, and he let go with 1 hand. He was a little out in front.
So his 2nd home run in 7 career at bats against Manaea, and the Nats have the lead for the first time today.
That is a stunner right there. There it is.
Yep.
Well,
C.J. Abrams grounds another one to Young. That's 3 straight times that Abrams has grounded out to first. That's the 2nd out.
let's see the home run here. Look at him let go with 1 hand and just flicked it. How about that?
I think he shocked himself.
Agreed.
9 home runs for House and a 4-2 Washington lead. 2 out and nobody on. Harry Ford swings and misses at a fastball. Well, it hit batsman and a walk, but 2 men on, and House cashes them in. Mets, though, can take heart in the fact that the Nats are going to have to go deeper into their bullpen in the bottom of the 6th. A bullpen that has already blown 37 saves this year, including 1 last night. That's the most in the majors. Fastball on the inside edge for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Boy, this Manaea was cruising right along.
Well, the Nats are a home run hitting team. They've now hit 179 home runs this year, the most in the majors. So they can get you at any time. 2-2 to Ford. Sean has thrown 22 pitches in this inning, by far his most of the day. And now he runs a full count to Ford with Jacob Young on deck. The Nats 4 runs and 3 hits. The Mets 2 runs and 1 hit. We're in the 6th. Looks like Tom Cosgrove, the lefty, will be on to pitch for the Nats in the bottom of the 6th. Mets will just be happy to get Will Dion out of the game.
I think that they're going to get their wish. What a job he did to keep his team in this game. He's the pitcher of the long side, Gary.
Outside ball 4 in the inning continues. So Minaya, who had not walked anybody for 12 straight innings, has walked 2 and hit a batter in this inning.
That's going to get a visit.
Nobody up as of yet in the Mets bullpen as Justin Willard goes out to talk. Mets bullpen was brilliant last night. 4 2/3 innings, no runs, 2 hits. With Jonathan Pintaro going 2 for the win and Senga getting the save. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Novig, the official prediction market of the New York Mets, where America predicts sports. So with a runner at first and 2 out, Jacob Young will step in. Young had a base hit to right field in the second, struck out in the fifth, 1 for 2. And that's drilled to left field, and that's down for a base hit. Beatty somehow corrals it on the medium hop.
Nice play by Brady. Got in front of it.
Young's got his second hit of the day.
This could have got by him, and he got his body in front. Well done. Right there, collected himself.
Daniel Nunez is going to get to work in the Mets bullpen as Minaya weakens here in the 6th. Danlin Lyle will be the 8th man up in the inning. Lyle has grounded out and struck out 0 for 2. Ford now at second and Young at first, and Lyle fouls off first pitch fastball. Well, fastball is not showing as much life as it did earlier in the game. Ford is the runner at second. He's a catcher, but he can run. And Young is a speedster at first. Lyle drives one toward the gap in right center, cutting over his bench, and he makes the catch. Got a great jump on that ball to pick it off and end the inning. But the 3-run homer by House puts the Nats up 4-2.
Amazing.
Look, it's Perry Street. Is it? It's like a nice place to hang around in the Village on a Saturday afternoon.
There is a great bar in San Francisco, downtown, called Perry's.
I was wondering what the connection was.
That's my connection.
Lefty Tom Cosgrove, side armor who loves his slider, comes in with Carson Bench and Jared Young, the first 2 batters in the inning. And the first slider hit him. Well, almost did.
How'd that not hit him?
I thought it nicked him, but I guess not.
So we got the game today. They love these side armors. Look at that, just a helicopter.
Ben just walked and struck out. Mets have only had 1 hit through the first 5 innings, but they only had 1 hit through the first 5 innings last night. That slider bends in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Now, Will Dion could not have been better. 4 1/3 innings, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts in long relief. He was a savior for the Nats today. Bench gets a fastball and drills it deep to right. Forget that. Carson Bench with his 14th home run of the year gets the Mets back to within 1. Well, he threw a couple of those slow sweepers. Bench got a fastball, and he turned on it.
Didn't fool him one bit. Down in the strike zone. Bench gets lefties well. We've seen it all year.
Now Jared Young drops down a bunt. Cosgrove sets and fires too late.
Oh, gosh.
Cosgrove took way too much time, and Young has a bunt hit.
That play should have been completed. Here's the home run. Fastball. Oh, boy. Right in the wheelhouse. And Bench knew he had it.
First home run at Citi Field for Bench since May the 31st. His last 9 home runs had all come on the road.
I don't know what Cosgrove was thinking on that bunt. He thought he could just la-di-da it over there.
Maybe he just misjudged the speed of Young.
Well, Bench has the full swing, the full follow through. Very nice. And a beautiful sight.
The Bench has just gotten better and better.
Well, he's hit left-handers all year. He struggled in the beginning, and he fought through it, and that showed a lot of mental fortitude and strength. And the club was going bad to boot, and to be a rookie and to get off to a bad start and the team playing poorly, that's very impressive.
Orlando Ribalta, the right-hander, gets up in the Nats bullpen. Cosgrove gets greeted rudely by the home run. Second he's given up in 13 appearances. And then Jared Young's second bunt hit of the season puts the tying run aboard with nobody out. Semien foul tips the slider for strike 3. And Cosgrove has the first out of the inning. It's 9 punch outs for Nationals pitchers today.
Oh, there it is. You can see the spin. And as a hitter, you can see that spin. Out of the hand.
Now Brett Beatty, who's walked and flied out 0 for 1. And he punches one to the left side. A spinner grabbed by Abrams. Out at second. Nunez to first. Not in time. Nicely done by Abrams on a ball that had a tremendous amount of spin on it. And Beatty just beat the rap at first.
Nice turn by Nunez, too. Had something on the throw. But he comes and gets it. Abrams does all he can do. Got rid of it quickly. And a nice turn.
The Nats are challenging the call at first base.
I thought he beat it.
Very close.
Let's see. Oh, he's out. That's a double play, Gare. Wow.
Chris Conroy and Laz Diaz are the crew chiefs in the replay center. Play under review presented by Citizens, making sense of the play. Willie Traynor made the call at first base. Bang bang play.
Yeah, OUT, Gare.
And that ends the inning.
Nice pair.
I don't think anybody out there knows that the inning is over. They're all standing around on the field. They just overturned the call, called it a double play, and the Nats are still on the field.
Overturned, the runner is out.
Okay.
Washington will retain their challenge.
I repeat. Does anybody know what's going on? 4-3 Nats after 6. Sean Manaea is back out there for the 7th after throwing 28 pitches in the 6th and giving up a 3-run homer to Brady House. Yassim Nunez leads off in the 7th. Daniel Nunez continues to throw in the Mets bullpen. Manaea's high pitch count this year is 108. He's at 90 right now. And Nunez takes a sweeper outside, 1-1. Nunez smashes one the other way for a base hit. So the Nats get the leadoff man on in the 7th, and it's the league's leading base stealer aboard.
Went right with it.
Now the number 9 hitter Andrew Pinckney comes up. Manaea is going to stay in to face him. We'll see if the Nats are bunting here with a 1-run lead in the 7th. Pinckney has struck out and been hit by a pitch, 0 for 1. And he picks him off. Young with the throw to second. Lindor runs him back. And Simeon finally puts on the tag for the first down.
3-6.
1-3-6-3-4 on the pickoff. Chalk it up as a caught stealing. As Minaya gets his second pickoff of the year and the 14th of his career. That's a big one. Talking about a 40 stolen base guy in Nunez. That was one out and nobody on.
That was 1-3-6-3-4. Is that what you said?
1-3-6-3-4.
Yep.
Pinckney drives one down the right field line over toward the corner, goes big, and it's off the wall, bouncing away from him. Pinckney can fly. He's on his way to third, and he's going to make it easily with a one-out triple. Andrew Pinckney with just his second career extra base hit. He homered against Christopher Sanchez last week. Now he triples against Sean Minaya.
Well, Benz gets caught here trying to make the play and then just couldn't pull up. Now watch this man run. Holy cow, he was flying. Look at him cut.
He's got long legs and he covers a lot of ground with each stride.
That was a Pete Rose head first slide.
It's going to be all for Minaya, who gives up back-to-back hits to start the seventh. Helped himself out with a pickoff, but now leaves with a runner at third and one out. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. We'll be right back.
Good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Andrew Pinckney is 11 at bats deep into his big league career. He just hit his first triple.
Here's that Pete Rose. Head first slide. That'll get them all riled up. They love it.
So not Daniel Nunez, who has struggled through his first three outings coming back from Tommy John surgery. The infield is in. Dylan Cruz is the batter. Cruz is 0 for 3 today. And his first slider is up and in for ball one.
He has an all left-handed bench. I'm surprised he would not pinch hit here for Cruz.
Cruz has really struggled against right-handed pitching this year. He lifts one out to right. Bench has the great arm, but Pinckney has great speed. Here comes Pinckney. Here comes the throw by Bench on a hop, and he got him! Oh, wow! Carson Bench with his cannon. What you doing running on me?
Should never have sent him. It wasn't deep enough with that arm.
One hop strike.
Beautiful throw.
action plan.
Carson Bench fires up his team with his 6th outfield assist of the year.
Perfect one hop to your catcher and the long hop. Too shallow to send. Just way too shallow with the arm. Even with an average arm out there, you can't do it. Big smiles.
So the Nats had 2 hits in that inning, but nobody left on base. Manai with a pickoff and Benj with the outfield assist for the 9-2 double play. And now Orlando Ribalta comes out of the bullpen for Washington to face Jorge Polanco leading off the home 7th. And first pitch slider, he held the swing in time, ball 1. Polanco has struck out and flied out 0 for 2. Ribalta's been one of the pleasant surprises in the Nats bullpen this year. 28-year-old from Cuba.
We saw him earlier.
Fastball strike 1-1.
And Mets got to him, I believe, in that Washington series, the series earlier in the year. But I liked his stuff. Got a good slider.
Alvarez and Ewing to follow after Polanco. Bounces that slider, and it's 2-1. It's not been the pitching plan that the Nats intended, but it's worked out fine for them so far. Brad Lord got chased in the first inning after 4 walks. Will Dion picked him up, and he was brilliant for 4 1/3. No runs, no hits, 7 strikeouts. Tom Cosgrove allowed the home run to Bench to make it a 1-run game. Bench had himself quite a back-to-back half innings. The home run to get the Mets within a run, and then the outfield assist to keep a run from scoring. And now Mets try to make something of it against this beleaguered Washington bullpen. And then Polanco goes down swinging on the slider, and that's the first out of the home 7th. And Polanco, with each fruitless at bat, he was more and more catcalled.
Everything is speeding up for Jorge. It's been just a tough year.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Francisco Alvarez. 2 more strikeouts today for Francisco. It's been a troubling trend the last few days. He has struck out in 10 of his last 11 at bats. Mets have had just 3 hits today. Jared Young, a 2-run double and a bunt single, and Benj with the home run, and that's been it.
4th slider that Ribalta has thrown, and none of them have been for strikes. There's
that slider missed as well. 2-1.
Gosh, why don't you challenge that one?
Each team is down to 1 challenge. Each team lost one of their challenges in the first inning. Alvarez asked for time.
What's that saying? It's his timeout, not
Daniel Duarte, who has been nails for the Mets, up in the bullpen. Alvarez swings at a high fastball, well out of the strike zone. It's 2-2. Blue Jays beat the Yankees again today, 4-1. Charles McAdoo with the go-ahead RBI double in the 7th. The Blue Jays now just a half game out of a wild card. And this time Alvarez calls time, and it's his time. First one looked like a 22nd timeout. A.J. Ewing waiting on deck. And Alvarez having to foul back that high fastball. Two coming from Ribalta. And he again misses with a slider, and it's 3-2. Balta was in a handful of games for the Nats each of the last 2 years. This year getting his most extensive big league experience, his 39th appearance. He'll walk some people. 3.5 walks per 9. 3-2. And Alvarez fouls back the fastball. That one was a 98. Ford comes back for a look, but that's out of play. That's the hardest fastball Rebalta's thrown so far. Born in Cuba, but he went to high school in Miami. Came out of Miami-Dade College. Drafted by the Nats in 2019. Made it to the big leagues in 2024. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat from Rebalta to Alvarez. And in the air to right field. Over toward the line comes Cruz. In the sunshine. 2 out. Let's check out the road ahead. Your radio home for the Mets is 880 AM and streaming on the free Odyssey app. 141st pitch tomorrow. Christian Scott on the mound for the Mets. And then the red-hot Padres come to town for 3 games starting on Monday night. Nolan McLean will open that series for New York on Monday night, probably against Walker Buehler. Padres have won 6 straight and 16 of 20 going into their game with the Guardians tonight. Here's A.J. Ewing, who hit one to the wall in right center that Jacob Young tracked down his last time up. Ewing is 2 for his last 25, but it doesn't feel like it because he's had some really good at-bats.
He's hit the ball hard.
Earlier this year, Carson Bench had a throw from right field that was clocked at 100 miles an hour. The one he threw out Pinckney at the plate in the last half inning was a mere 98.1.
He didn't have to air it out. He was in tight enough, close enough. Just make sure he threw an accurate throw, and he did.
And now Rebalta behind on Ewing, 3-0. He's just not been able to land his slider at all.
No, he just has not. The only strike he's got was the one that Polanco fished at for and struck out.
And Ewing swinging 3-0, but he lines it, and Cruz is able to make the lunging grab to end the inning. Another hard hit ball for A.J., but another unsuccessful at bat. That sends us off to the 8th with the Nats still up 4-3. Dino Nunez got the fly ball double play to end the 7th. He'll start the 8th. Bielemaek Ortiz will bat for Andres Chaparro.
I thought he should have pinched it with Ortiz with Cruz, or one of those 4 left-handers off the bench.
Ortiz started last night at first base, went 0 for 5, and he takes first pitch fastball for a strike from Nunez. Ortiz just 35 at bats deep into his big league career. With a good cut of that fastball, fouls it back. Nunez looking for a solid outing. He's yet to have one since coming back from Tommy John and spending a month in the minor leagues getting ready. Brady House on deck, and then C.J. Abrams for the Nats in the 8th. And Ortiz hits one toward the middle. That'll go through for a base hit. On 0-2. Not sure exactly what that pitch was.
Fastball.
I mean, that was clocked at 93 after the first 2 pitches were 97.
Well, that man should have pinched it for Cruz in the last inning with that runner on third.
Now Brady House, who has the biggest hit in this game, He doinked one off the foul pole for a 3-run homer against Sean Manaea in the 6th. Turned a 2-1 Met lead into a 4-2 Nats lead. Benj's home run made it 4-3. House's home run was his 9th of the year. Ortiz at first, not a fast runner at all.
Well, here's the home run in the 6th. Off-speed breaking ball, let go with one hand. Just kind of little flick of the wrist. And right off the pole.
He seemed shocked that that ball hit the pole. He didn't even run at first, thinking that he had hit the ball foul.
Yep, it didn't hook.
Snap throw by Alvarez, and Ortiz gets his hand back in. 2 balls and a strike to House, with the league's leading RBI man C.J. Abrams waiting on deck. Jeffrey Yan is up in the Mets bullpen. And now Nunez falls behind on House, 3-1. I would have to imagine that Yan is getting ready for Abrams. Give them a lefty against the left-hand batter. Ooh, nice slider on 3-1.
Nice pitch.
Three and 2, nobody out. Ortiz at first, not running, and he struck him out with a slider. Went back-to-back on 3-1 and 3-2 with the slider to get House for the first out.
2 good ones. The second one was better than the first one. Both in great locations. This one had more down break.
So that's going to be all for Nunez, and Jeffrey Yan will come in to make his Citi Field debut, and the fans will be hoping that he can celebrate. 4-3 Nats in the 8th. Join Connor and Joe as they talk opportunities for players to prove their future value heading toward the end of the season. On the latest episode of the Mets Pod, subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Well, after 4 appearances on the road, Jeffrey Yan gets his first home appearance for the Mets.
He had a really good first outing in Cleveland, and then he's had some walk issues, control issues. Look at the 5 walks. He's thrown a lot of dirt balls.
His last outing in Atlanta, he gave up a blue pin to Drake Baldwin that brought in a run, then retired his next 2 hitters, and they're telling him to tuck his jewelry into his shirt. C.J. Abrams been up 3 times, grounded out to first base all 3. Ortiz at first with 1 out. Abrams with 91 RBIs to lead the National League. And the first fastball from Yan is in for a strike. That first outing in Cleveland, Yan was throwing 101. Since then, he's pretty much settled in at 96 to 98, which is plenty. He's got a really good slider as well. The question is whether he can throw strikes. And that fastball rushes up at 98, but it's low, 1-1. C.J. Abrams having a breakout year. Driven in 9 runs in the first 8 games against the Mets this year. And he pulls one to first. Beautiful play by Young, and he gets the out. Jared Young with the quick reaction to his left robbed Abrams of a double. And Abrams grounds out to first base for the 4th straight time, but this one had some juice.
Oh boy, that's on the tip of his glove right there. And that's what I'm talking about. Well, when you're holding a runner on, it becomes a hot corner over there.
Steve was talking before about Young being more ready with his glove, and his glove was ready to make that play.
Boy, that was trouble right there.
So now 2 out. Ortiz at second. Here's Harry Ford. And the rookie catcher takes up an end for ball 1. Ford has struck out, flied out, and walked 0 for 2. Just his 13th big league start. They've got some very inexperienced players on the field. to 4. Ortiz at second is not a fast runner, so especially on a base hit to right field, he might not be able to score. Clayton Beeter is up in the Nats bullpen, the former Yankee. Good block by Alvarez. 2 balls and a strike. Nice to see him sliding, pushing off on that left foot. That fastball pops in at the knees for a strike. Ford looked like he might want to challenge it, but he did not.
He would have lost the challenge. That was on the knees.
So now it's 2-2. The Nats 4 runs and 7 hits. The Mets 3 runs and 3 hits. We're in the 8th. Jan trying to keep this a 1-run game with Ortiz at second and 2 out. 2-2 coming. In there for a call, strike 3, and Jan goes airborne. Ford strikes out looking. Jan gets to celebrate, and this is still a 1-run game going to the bottom of the 8th. That's the signature. Celebration from Jeffrey Jan. Especially love the result. Clayton Beeter is on to pitch as we go to the bottom of the 8th. That's down a run. Francisco Lindor leads off in the bottom of the 8th against Beeter and hits one right up the middle for a base hit to get the Mets started in the 8th. First pitch fastball, and Lindor just stroked it up the middle. And the Mets have their 4th hit of the day.
Well, there's Beeter's numbers. You can see the saves. Gary mentioned this team has blown more saves than anybody. They're kind of mixing and matching.
Abimelec Ortiz, who pinch hits, stays in the game at first base.
Lindor gets it started.
So now Bichette, who's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Slider on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Beeter came over from the Yankees in the trade for Ahmed Rosario last year at the trading deadline. He was good down the stretch for the Nats last year. He's been good for them this year. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher, fastballs and sliders. But he will walk people, so you have to be patient. 23 walks in 37 innings this year. And that bounces in front of Ford, taking off for second. Lindor, Ford's throw, and he is out.
What a play by Ford.
Ford is such an athletic catcher. He jumped on that ball instantly,
barehanded,
and was able to get Lindor.
Got the bare hand on it, and threw on the run. Now he had a bad backhand there on that, but watch this, and a perfect throw. That's just a really terrific play.
It's not a caught stealing. It's just 2-4. Attempting to advance, and now Bichette lines one into center for a base hit, which makes that out at second base look even bigger. So the Mets with back-to-back hits against Beeter, and now Bichette's aboard with the tying run.
Now, if you're the Nationals and you've had a season like they've had hanging breaking ball, geez. You know, you're just sitting there out there. If you're an everyday player going, okay, when's the other shoe going to drop?
Well, here's Carson Benj. His home run got the Mets within a run in the 6th inning, his 14th of the year. And the first pitch slider is high for ball 1.
Just a fine play here. The backhand was no good, but boy, oh boy, picked it up barehanded and on the run. Makes a perfect throw. That is just a fine play.
Up and in to Benj, and it's 2-0. Bichette at first with 1 out. And Benj takes it high, and now it's 3-0. The beater really struggling.
Now they gave me, remember, Ewing a 3-0 hit sign. Will Benj get the hit sign?
We've seen Benj swing 3-0. We had never seen Ewing swing before. He takes it high. No, nothing to swing at there, and the Mets have 2 men on. Third time Benj has been on base today. 6 walks now for Washington pitching. And Bichette moves to second with the tying run. And Simon Matthews, the pitching coach, heads out to the mound. Honda Sports Night comes your way tonight at 11. Much more on today's game, tomorrow's game, all the football news. Honda Sports Night tonight and every night on SNY. Kodaisenga, who got the save last night. This would be his first time pitching in back-to-back days if he comes into today's game. Jared Young drove in the first 2 Met runs today with a fly ball double into the left field corner. Then he got a bunt single in the 6th, 2 for 3. Tying and go-ahead runs on base with 1 out. And Young takes a strike, 0-1.
Very shallow outfield here. The corner outfielders in particular are playing very shallow.
Young's been the Mets' best with runners in scoring position, hitting .340 this year. He fouls back the fastball from Beater, and it's 0-2. Mets came from behind to win last night against the Washington bullpen, trying to do it again today. Nats have lost 11 of their last 16 to fall to the fringes of the wild card race. Let's try to deal them another blow. Young fouls back that slider. Peter's given up 6 home runs this year in 37 innings. He's given up 2 hits and a walk to his first 3 hitters today.
I can believe it.
And that bounces away from Ford, and that'll move the runners to second and third. So Ford was able to save 1 wild pitch, but not that one. And now the tying run is on third, and the go-ahead run at second with 1 out.
Well, it's got to be the same old story for this Nationals team.
That is Beater's 9th wild pitch in 37 innings this year. Wow. So now the Nats are going to bring their infield most of the way in. Of course, what you risk here is the ground ball past the infield that brings in not only the tying run, but the go-ahead run. What do you think?
Infield in. God, you could walk them.
Marcus Semien, the on-deck batter.
You got a guy that's throwing wild pitches here.
It's 1-2 on Young. Peter needs a strikeout. Young able to foul back a fastball at 98.
He's got to throw the fastball.
Again, the 1-2. And it's too high. 2-2 to Young. Wow. Lindor singled on the first pitch, beater through. He was thrown out at second trying to advance, but Bichette had a base hit. Benj walked on 4 pitches. A wild pitch moved them up. Now it's 2-2 to Young. And he swings and misses at a slider out of the strike zone for the second out.
Hanging up in his eyes. And he swung right through it. You know, he wasn't going to throw it in the dirt, Garrett, with the runner on third base. So he left it up there. Oh, it just completely fooled him.
So now the infield can drop back with 2 out. Marcus Semien, the batter. Marcus 0 for 2 and a walk today. And Semien takes a strike with the slider, 0-1.
That's the first good one he's thrown.
Marcus came into the day hitting .278 with runners in scoring position, far above his season average. Base hit here could give the Mets the lead. And that's down, and Ford's able to go down and stop it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Beater gets out of there. This is a serious Houdini.
Always hope.
Put you on tenterhooks if you're a defender out there for the Nationals. I'm sure close to a nervous breakdown having this all year long.
1-1 to Semien. And he pulls the swing. No, he went around. Home plate umpire Nestor Ceja made the call, and it's 1-2.
There he gets a glove out this time. Remember, he backhanded on that play. He made the great throw. A lot of pressure on Ford back here with the runners on third base. The tying run.
Beater keeps asking for new baseballs. Bichette is the tying run at third. Benj the go-ahead run at second. 4-3 Nats, bottom of the 8th. 1-2 to Marcus Semien. And Semien pulls one on the ground to short. Abrams with the throw across the diamond in time, and that retires the side. And somehow the Mets do not score in the bottom of the 8th. Still 4-3. Ninth inning, 4-3 Washington. Jeffrey Young at the final 2 outs in the 8th, stays on for the 9th to face Jacob Young. Young is 2 for 3 today, and he takes fastball down for ball 1. It'll be Young, then Lyle and Nunez, 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Warner's pinch in against Young. He's had a hit to right and a hit to left. And he takes fastball for a strike from Young, 1-1. Sean Manaea went 6 1/3, allowed 4 runs and 6 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, a hit batsman, 2 home runs. The 2 home runs accounting for all 4 Washington runs. Manaea's ERA went up from 4.13 to 4.22. But the 5th straight start, he was able to go 6 innings or more. And Young takes fastball strike, and it's 2-2.
That was not a strike.
And still have a challenge, but Young did not use it.
They're a little timid this series.
Dendo Nunez pitched an inning, no runs, 1 hit, his best outing to date. And now Young trying to hold the fort in the 9th and keep it a 1-run game. 2-2. This is Badley with that slider, and it's 3-2. Now the 3-2. On the ground to short, 2 hopper for Lindor. And he throws out the speedy Young by a stride, 1 away. Time for your mobile performance. Carson Bench had a home run, and then this throw to keep it a 1-run game.
Well, boy, they challenged the arm on a shallow fly ball, and Pickney very quick. But that was, you don't challenge that arm and that shallow a fly ball, and a very accurate throw.
Now Dylan Lyle, and he takes a 100-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Giovanni Cruz is up in the bullpen for the Nats. Cruz came over from the Yankees in the Luis Garcia deal. He throws 100. He has not saved a game in the major leagues, but it looks like he's going to get an opportunity in the bottom of the ninth.
And he has his share of control issues.
Yeah, he's won 4 batters and 2 2/3 since coming over. Oh, and 2 coming to Lyle. And he struck him out with a slider. So Jan has faced 4, retired 4 with a couple of strikeouts. He's getting some good elevation. Here's a look at the Novig K board. 10 strikeouts for Met pitchers today. 2 out and nobody on. Here's Nasim Nunez. And he takes a fastball strike. This is the best strike throwing we've seen from Jan. 12 of his 18 pitches have been strikes. Nunez had a base hit to right field his last time up. And he swings and misses at a high fastball, and it's 0-2. In the bottom of the ninth, the Mets will have the lower third of the order due up. Beatty, Polanco, and Alvarez. They've got a bench full of right-hand hitters. 0-2. Just away. Jan was celebrating, and he's going to challenge. He's going to celebrate and then challenge the call.
It's a ball.
Yes, it is. Now that was funny.
The pitch of the
Mets
ball
are
is
now out of
1-2.
challenges.
New York is out of challenges.
That part is not funny because they might need that challenge in the bottom of the ninth. He celebrated, and then he tapped his head. Nope. 1-2 to Nunez. Premature jubilation. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nunez. I mean, the celebrations are great, but you better wait for the call. 2-2 coming. Struck him out. Got him with a slider. Now Jan can celebrate. Nunez flashes him a big smile. 3 strikeouts for Jan, who retires all 5. Now the Mets come up in the bottom of the ninth, down a run.
Stays this holiday.
Once we're done here, keep it tuned for Mercedes-Benz Postgame Live. Gary Allen, Todd Zeal will have all the highlights, all the analysis, all the interviews. Mercedes-Benz Postgame Live right here on SNY. Well, Giovanni Cruz throws 100, but will bid for his first career save with the Nats leading 4-3. Oh. Cruz came over from the Yankees in the Luis Garcia deal at the deadline. He has struggled since joining the Nats. Brett Beatty, first man up to face him. And his first slider misses inside for ball 1.
Yes. Oh, I thought it was a challenge. It is a challenge. What's going on here? No, it's not.
I thought it was a pitch count issue. Did you ever get your mole?
Oh, no, the mole. I gotta wait till the White Sox weekend series. I'm gonna get after him.
1-0 to Beatty. 9th big league appearance for Cruz. He was in 4 games for the Yankees before the trade, and now his 5th game for the Nats, and there's that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Jorge Polanco on deck, then Francisco Alvarez for the Mets in the 9th. And that slider misses. 2-1. One-run games have not been kind to the Mets. They're 11-20 in one-run games this year. The Nats are 13-16. 2 balls and a strike to Beatty. And Brett takes one inside. Now it's 3-1.
You know, you got a guy that throws hard, very hard, and he's wild, and two of the 4 pitches are breaking balls.
Well, he throws his slider more than half the time.
Well,
and he misses with a fastball for ball 4, and the Mets have the tying run aboard. Well, Beater tried his best to hand it to the Mets in the 8th, and now Cruz starts the 9th with a walk. Again, 37 blown saves for the Nats this year. Easily the worst bullpen in baseball, and the Mets trying to take advantage. It was Polanco. Would you ask him to bunt?
no. How about a 2-run home run?
It's such a struggle for Jorge, and he does square and takes a strike. Today, Polanco is 0 for 3, struck out twice and flied out. House will stay in on the grass at 3rd. Francisco Alvarez on deck. And Polanco takes a slider at his feet, and it's 1-1. So he showed bunt on the first pitch, but not on the second. Does have 20 career sacrifice bunts, so he's done it before. Beatty at first and nobody out. And Polanco swings and misses at a splitter, and it's 1-2.
This is one of those guys, Gary, that you can go up there on 3 pitches, he can make you look sick, but more times than not, he's going to walk you or give you a fat one.
All these Mets facing him for the first time. And Polanco able to foul off that splitter.
Is that a splitter or a slider?
Well, he's throwing a slider, and then those last 2 were splits, I think.
I'm looking to see. I think I'm seeing a spin on it. Not sure.
26-year-old Giovanni Cruz trying for his first big league save.
And there's a splitter.
2-2 to Polanco with Alvarez on deck. House way off the line at 3rd, halfway between 2nd and 3rd. And Polanco pulls one, base hit into right field. There's a big hit for Jorge Polanco. Keeps the line moving in the 9th. And now the tying and potential winning runs are on base.
You got a hanging slider. So Cruz loves his breaking stuff. Got a pinch runner.
Christian Pache is going to run for Polanco at first.
Do you ask Alvarez to bunt, who's probably never bunted?
So Pache represents the potential winning run. And everybody in that dugout happy for Polanco. It's been such a rough go for him. Now he puts the Mets in position here in the bottom of the 9th. Alvarez 0 for his last 12. 10 strikeouts in those 12 at-bats. He's never had a sacrifice bunt in the making. House is playing even with the bag and very close to the line at 3rd. And the first baseman Ortiz is playing in on the cutout as well. So they're not convinced that Alvarez isn't bunting.
They got to respect it, though.
And Francisco lines one down the line for a base hit. That'll tie the game. Beatty is in. Pache to 3rd. He's going to be held up there. Francisco Alvarez ties the game with an RBI double, and it's 4-4.
Slider again. Beautiful little hanger, nicely done. You kind of felt this was coming.
Well, that's been the story for the Nats all year.
Yep.
Their 38th blown save, and now the Mets have the winning run at 3rd with nobody out.
You got to walk the bases loaded, don't you? Or...
Well, that means you're bringing Lindor up.
Well,
Lindor has been hot. his 11th double of the year, his 30th RBI, and now we're going to get a pinch runner for Alvarez. Not sure why you need that with the winning run at third base. But Luis Robert will come in and run for Alvarez. Why would you bring a pinch runner in for a guy whose run means nothing?
I mean, you got
he's not forced. Makes no sense. Anyway, A.J. Ewing will get the first crack at winning this one. A.J.'s 0 for 3 and a walk. But he's hit the ball hard twice. Flied out to the wall in right center in the 5th. Lined out to right in the 7th. Infield in. The outfield is in. Pache the winning run at third.
He can throw a dirt ball here and wild pitch this game the way he's looking.
And Ewing lays off the first pitch slider. No swing. Ball 1. Well, the thing is, Cruz can afford to mess around with Ewing with first base open. But if he bounces one, Pache could scamper in with a winning run.
No fooling.
Outside. 2-0.
Jeez.
Francisco Lindor waiting on deck. I mean, Ewing could bunt for a run. Cruz behind him, 2-0. And now 3-0 as Ford somehow backhanded that ball out of the dirt. That was nearly a game-winning wild pitch.
Gosh, I would have brought in Kranick. Someone that can throw strikes to save the ball game.
Might not have been available after throwing an inning in the 3rd last night. Well, 3-0 now to Ewing, who swung at a 3-0 pitch his last time up.
Not this time.
Now there's a strike, 3-1. A walk to Beatty, a big hit for Polanco, and then Alvarez with the go-ahead double. Pache, the pinch runner, carrying the winning run at third. 3-1 to A.J. Ewing. Ewing fouls back a slider that time, and it's 3-2.
He had a hanger to hit right there, right on it.
Well, Cruz is a strikeout pitcher, and he needs a couple of strikeouts. He's worked his way back from 3-0 to 3-2 on Ewing. A.J. looking for his first ever walk-off RBI. Ewing taps one and trickles foul.
Boy, for a guy that throws 100 miles an hour, supposedly, sure loves his breaking ball.
And that's the scouting report on it. He throws 100, but he only throws his fastball about 38% of the time. Mets have 5 walk-off wins so far this year. (3-2) to Ewing, and he struck him out, and that's the first out of the inning.
Now Gary, open base.
Definitely got to walk Lindor and pitch.
I disagree. Bichette is an RBI man,
but he's also a double play catcher.
Lindor can strike out. And I would go after Lindor and then walk Bichette.
So let's see.
We'll see what they do. They're going to go after Lindor.
Lindor's 1 for 3 and a walk today. Had a base hit up the middle his last time up. And he takes first pitch slider for a strike.
Boy, if he wiggles out of this, my goodness.
Well, Beater was able to get out of big-time trouble in the 8th. And now Cruz trying to do the same after giving up the tying run in the 9th. Infield in, outfield in. And Lindor tries to lay off and stopped it in time, 1-1. Of course, the outfield can only play as deep as they can throw. Anything over your head is going to be a game-winning RBI anyway. (1-1) to Lindor. And Francisco foul tips it for strike 2. So 3 straight sliders from Cruz. And now he's in position for a second straight strikeout, which would give him an avenue to get out of it. Bichette on deck. One-two coming. And Lindor cracks one out to right. That's a game winner. Pache comes home with the winning run. And the Mets pull it out of the bottom of the ninth. RBIs for Alvarez and Lindor, and the Mets win it 5-4. The Mets keep it rolling. 8 wins in their last 11 games. And they've taken the first 2 of the series from the Nats as they come back again against the Nationals bullpen and win it 5-4.
Well, you're seeing the Achilles heel of this Nationals team. The bullpen is just really porous, walks, but the Mets, these are big wins here. These come from behind.
And for the second straight day, the Mets have a pitcher earn his first major league win. Today it's Jeffrey Yan. After Jonathan Pintaro got his first win yesterday, Yan retired all 5, and then the Mets come through with 2 in the bottom of the ninth. Lindor with the game-winning hit.
I just knew that Lindor was going to come through off of Cruz. And he did.
A lot of good feelings on this team right now. 7-3 road trip, followed by back-to-back wins at home. And we send it downstairs to Steve Gill. Steve?
Gary, give me 1 second as Francisco Lindor daps up Francisco Alvarez. And Francisco, I've been around you long enough now to know that you'd rather talk about your teammates than you. So let's start with the at-bats prior to you. What stood out to you about those at-bats across the board in that inning?
Beatty didn't want to be the hero. Then you have Alvarez doesn't want to be the hero. Everybody's passing the baton, getting the right pitches, and just trying to put it in play and make something happen. Then you have Pache going to third base right there. Just overall good day for the boys.
When you come up in that spot, first of all, are you surprised that they're pitching you there with the open base?
No. I mean, they're playing the game to win as well, and they felt like that matchup was probably good against me, and just my ego is not that big.
All right, so you do get up there. You see 3 straight sliders, and then you get a 4th one. What is the approach when you know that you don't even need the base hit? You just need a sac fly to win the game.
Just put the ball in play. I got one of the fastest guys in our team in third base. Just put the ball in play. Probably what AJ was trying to do as well. Let make them the play. You know, at the end of the day, we believe in what we have on the bases. Pass the baton, and I mean when AJ hit the ball, a foul ball, Pache almost scored. So that's what got in my head. I'm like, oh, I don't have to do anything crazy here. Just pass the baton, learn from what you guys did, what your teammates did earlier, and move forward.
As someone who absolutely loves defense and loves these young players, you guys had a huge run-saving throw from Carson Bench again in right field. What are you seeing from him as his game improves across the board this season?
He gets better. He embraced the moment. He has fun while he does it. And his confidence just continues to get bigger and bigger. And I love that for him. I mean, you have a guy like Sean came in today. He had a great outing. And then you have Jeffrey Yan, you have Nunez, and then you have guys like Carson, AJ, Marcus making great plays. That was a good day for the boys.
All right, finally, Francisco, sometimes when a trade deadline happens and you lose a lot of guys, a team can go the wrong way. You guys have gone 8-3 in those 11 games since. What, for you, have you been most proud of with this group in the last couple of weeks?
That we all playing for each other. No matter if you have one day in the big leagues or you have, like Marcus, 13 years in the big leagues, we all playing for each other. We all enjoying the moment. We're backing each other up. And we believe we're better on the other side. So we just got to continue to put our heads together and play good at bats and good defense and pick each other up.
All right, and you did that again tonight. Francisco Lindor, walk-off RBI hit. Thanks so much for the time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Gary, back to you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Francisco. And the one guy Francisco didn't mention was Jorge Polanco. That may be the biggest hit he's gotten for the Mets.
No full, and it's
Keeping that line moving in the ninth.
It's been such a struggle for him this year, and he got the big hit there.
Today's win brought to you by Moo. Create a Moo account and join Winners Rush, where every Mets win is your chance to win too. Terms and conditions apply. Moo Financial Inc. member FINRA SIPC. Game summary brought to you by Resorts World New York City. Jeffrey Yan retired all 5 to face him. Got to celebrate with his strikeout dance a couple times and got his first big league win. That's with their